Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex. I'm coming at you from a different angle, but long story. In this video, I'll tell you about 9 women rescued from a bar in the Philippines. This woman will pay you to find her a partner. First dine and dash and now ride and dash. The Visayas, Philippines sees over 33% decrease in crime, plus more beginning with the USD to peso exchange rate. Right now, $1 equal to 57.5 actually. By now, some of us were expecting it to hit 60 pesos, but probably just a small bump in the road when it comes to exchange rates, at least for those of us making dollars and spending in pesos. Here's the main story. The National Bureau of Investigation, Philippines rescues 9 women from videoke bar in Pangasinan. The NBI recently raided a videoke bar allegedly being used to sell women in Pangasinan. The agency conducted a surveillance after to customers for 2,000 pesos. These reports were confirmed and operation was mounted where 9 women, including 3 age 14 to 17 were rescued. The NBI has found out that the night spot was operating without a business permit. Okay, these individuals working in the bars were arrested and faced trafficking and other charges. Yeah, I guess you should be operating with a business, but I think this is a little bit more serious than that. All jokes aside, I'm glad these people have been caught. Of course, you should never be doing that kind of stuff. I've always said, like, for me, anyway, no need. I don't understand people like that. There's no need for that. The Philippines is an excellent place to meet people. People are so friendly and kind. Speaking of which, I'm in a wonderful mood. You may not be able to tell, but for the first time in like 8 days in the Philippines, my system has cleared up, and I was out there today talking to a whole bunch of people from my regular channel, talking to wonderful people out there. So it's easy to meet women is my point. If you really want to just like pay for your entertainment, there's other ways, and why bother with people that are not 18? Let's go on to our next story. In a similar story, the NBI rescued 5 women, including 3 from allegedly being trafficked in Luzon, Cebu. Following an entrapment operation on 28th of February, the suspects Dave Arvin Oro, 29, and Christian Surya Laro, 19, were arrested for trafficking women for those purposes at a local resto bar. The women were sold for 1,500 to 2,000 pesos per transaction with 500 peso takeout fee and were transported from Danao City. The victims, mostly from broken families, were manipulated into the situation. Oro and Luaro denied a trafficking operation, with Oro expressing regret for his actions. Authorities are continuing to investigate the network, which may extend beyond Liloan. And if found guilty, they can face life imprisonment and 5 million peso charge. So please reconsider if you ever think it, because the term trafficking, growing up, I thought it was like just like the movie Taken, like that's how severe I thought trafficking. It's not like that. A lot of like things that you might consider not such a big deal if you're just. Let me go ahead and rephrase it before you guys all jump on my throat, because apparently I don't speak clearly my mind enough. What I'm saying is, like, what you might consider not a big deal. Let's say you take somebody from one city to another and forgot to check their ID and they turn out to be younger. That's trafficking. So it's not just about you taking somebody in Europe and doing all. No, it's a lot like more practical situations where you may find yourself in, and a lot of times people might tell you they are a certain age, but they may not be. So always please ask for identification. Don't pay for things, like, just behave. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not gonna sit and explain to you how like not to traffic people. I think that should be pretty self-explanatory. My point is, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you just, I guess not lazy, but if you just want something quick and convenient, please reconsider. Do all your homework. Do not put yourself in a position where you're even facing any allegations such as this, right? Like we saw that Australian guy a couple weeks ago with 6 months, taking him to an island. 99% sure that it wasn't just an innocent thing, obviously. But for some miraculous reason, this guy was like one little, short in the head or something. I don't know how to say it. But he's like, yeah, let's go to the beach with some people. He done goofed, bro. Like, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah, stay out of trouble, peoples. Next up, here's a hero. James Harrison, an Australian known as the man with the golden arm, passed away at 88 on February 17th. Over 64 years, he donated blood 1,173 times, helping create 2.4 million doses of anti-D, a rare antibody that protects unborn babies from rhesus D hemolytic disease, whatever that is. I'm gonna have to do a research and put it up on the screen maybe after. Anyways, he saved a whole bunch of lives basically. His blood donated played a critical role in preventing this condition, which affected 1 in 100 women until 1966. Harrison's legacy, which saved countless lives, will continue throughout efforts to recreate anti-D antibodies in the labs. He passed away peacefully at a nursing home in his sleep. Wow. What a wonderful man. Imagine saving that many lives potentially by helping just simply donating blood. I don't like it either. It's something going to my veins, taking what's mine out. But if I knew for sure I was saving a life, count me in, bro. Bring on that needle, inject me, take it away. But good for him, man. That's amazing, and may he rest in peace, and I'm sure there's a place for him in heaven. Let's continue with positive news. Philippines Pride. The Philippines made its first appearance at the Carnaval de Venezia over the weekend, showcasing Filipino folk dances in famous Italian city. Absolutely fantastic. That's pretty cool to represent your country in another country, demonstrating and highlighting some of the most traditional costumes and dances. It looks wonderful and so colorful. And next up, this Singaporean woman offers $2,000 bounty to find a life partner. Where do I sign up? Where is the application? Count me in. But in reality, this woman's from Singapore, offering only $2,000 to find a life partner. I assume she's wealthy. She probably has a huge list of things she wants. Ain't nobody trying to deal with that, and $2,000 ain't not enough to find your soulmate. Come on, make it like 20 or 2 million. And how is a woman these days out of options? Come on, like if you're a woman, you should be a millionaire, hands down. Like men will just throw themselves at you, like, so it's just the reality of life. All you gotta do is go online, make a profile. Next thing you know, your inbox is blowing up. Men them trying to get with you one way or another. Okay, maybe they're not your soulmates, but my point is, that's your job, right? Try to filter through some of these things coming in. And I assume she seems pretty fancy and schmancy and bougie, somebody within her circle. But I've seen like crazy rich Asians, so I assume I'm getting very stereotypical here. She probably has a high demand list. Let's continue on to our next story. In Mandaue, Cebu, Mandaue City, seniors aged 80 plus to receive 10K cash gift. I mean, lately I've been feeling, let me just say this. I identify as a Filipino 83-year-old. Does that count? And quickly in Central Visayas, a 33.23% reduction in the occurrences of crime incidents have been recorded by authorities in the first 2 months of 2025. A lot of people in the comment section were calling BS and laughing at this statement. If you live in the Visayas region, let me know, have you noticed a decrease in crime to the significance of 33.3%? I've never heard of any crime stats reducing so drastically. I'm curious of what they consider a crime in this report, but seems to be, I guess, people behaving? What do you think is happening out here? Let's jump on over to Thailand. A Phuket taxi driver found himself in a frustrating situation when a Russian couple allegedly fled without paying their fare. The driver pursued them, only for the couple to continue refusing to settle the bill. In a now viral video, the driver can be heard shouting for payment while the Russian woman casually waves him off. The footage sparked debate online, with people criticizing the increasing number of fare-dodging incidents involving Russian tourists in Phuket. Some locals share similar experiences, claiming that certain visitors deliberately hide money or pretend that ATMs are not working to avoid paying. However, others speculate that there may have been a misunderstanding or dispute over the fare amounts. It remains unclear whether the driver ever received his money, as neither he nor the media have provided further details. The incident has reignited a conversation regarding tourist behavior. I want to kind of say this because this happens if you never travel to Thailand or anywhere that's touristy. I'm not going to say it's the Russian tourist's fault, because a lot of times what happens is you agree on a price. When it comes time to pay, the taxi driver says that you have to pay a different amount. Let's say I get into a taxi, I agree to 100 baht. When I get out, they say 1,000 baht. And this could be one of those situations. But it could also be a situation of misbehaving tourists simply not wanting to pay their bill. We can only speculate which one of those two it is, but I have to reserve my judgment on just blaming the tourists immediately. As much as I want to tell people to behave, I'm not going to say which is or which isn't. I assume it's obviously one or the other, right? Misunderstanding or the person didn't pay. But yeah, I hope more evidence comes out in the future. And then in a heated argument that took a dramatic turn in Bangkok when a Thai woman car into her boyfriend's vehicle out of jealousy. The incident, which unfolded in the city, led to damaged cars and tense confrontation, drawing attention on onlookers and authorities. Police are investigating the situation, with initial reports suggesting relationship issues as the primary cause. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported, but the event serves as a stark reminder of how emotions can escalate into reckless actions. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous. Imagine a woman wanted me that bad, crashing her car. But yeah, emotions, relationships, all that, I don't want no part of. Let's end on a positive note. Cliff diving is back in the country of the Philippines as the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series is set to once again bring the world's best cliff divers to the breathtaking shores of El Nido, Palawan, happening from April 11th to 13th. If you've never been to Palawan, it is a beautiful place. It's funny, I remember last year or the year before, in one of my videos on living abroad, I mentioned how I love El Nido, and somebody's like, "Oh, you didn't go there." I'm like, "What?" Like, "Oh, you didn't go there." I'm like, "What? Who thinks that way? Why would I lie about going to El Nido?" I'm like, "Buddy, just because you don't see it on my channel doesn't mean I didn't go there. I don't put everything on there." I think it's so funny where people just like, it just reminded me of that kind of funny situation about bragging about going somewhere. It's weird to me. Anyways, I'll start for a segment yesterday today where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Sinfuls says, reality in deportations regarding Filipinos. It sucks, but if we do it here in the Philippines as expats, we get deported and blacklisted. Countries need their sovereignty and the laws to be respected. Well said. And Thomas says something similar. All Filipinos are welcome, but like their country, just do it legally. Precession says, is that the right way to say it? Precession? Last statistics I saw, there were over 300,000 Filipinos in the U.S. and either overstaying or undocumented, which represent only a small percent of illegals in the U.S. However, I do agree with what you said. He is the only politician I've seen that is at least attempting to do what he said, while other countries are being overrun by refugees. Thank you for the video, Alex. And one more. You put the wall up and then put up 500 feet of landmines all across the length of the wall. Okay, let's do one more. Galaxy 2000 says, good man for helping big homie Jay out, my bro, especially making sure your people's money goes to where it needs to be by paying it yourself. I'm sure Jay is a good dude and would handle payment, but good on you or good of you to make extra sure. Thanks for being a good dude. You're welcome. And to be honest, it was extremely inconvenient for me to go and meet him there because of traffic, but I knew I just simply wanted to be sure that the GoFundMe funds went to the proper things. And because last year I helped another person on the street, and I wouldn't say I made the mistake, but it definitely didn't sit well with a lot of people when I just simply handed him the money and believed him be a grown-up to do the right thing by himself. So, I mean, a lot of you guys from this channel actually donated to Jay's cause as well. So I want to make sure that your generosity doesn't go to waste. As always, leave anything you want regarding your thoughts, your feelings about any of the topics I covered today in the comment section. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with different lighting. This is a little bit dark today, but I'm sure many of you guys don't care about the light. You just want to hear what's going on in Asia, my guy. Bye.